Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome all. In this session, today we are going to discuss about how a seller start their journey on IndiaMart, or we can say how a seller register himself or themselves on IndiaMart platform, or how a seller onboard themselves on IndiaMart platform so that they can start selling their products or services through IndiaMart platform. In this session, we will simply focus on the seller side and not on the buyer side, because the process itself says that this is a free seller enrichment profile. So before going forward, we have to see that how a seller come on IndiaMart platform. So as in the previous session we have also discussed this, that there are three platforms through which uh, anyone can explore IndiaMart. So these platforms are desktop site, mobile site, and our IndiaMart app. With the same platforms, the seller can register themselves as a free seller on IndiaMart platform, and can be a can start selling their products and services through this. After the seller will register themselves or their business on the IndiaMart platform as a free seller, after that you will help them to enrich their catalog. Okay, so now let's see ahead. So now we will talk about that how a seller using the desktop site can register themselves on IndiaMart. So here you can see a box which says create your seller account. In the there are two sections mentioned in the same. First is the name and second is the mobile number. The name, in the name section, you the seller will provide their own name, and in the mobile number section they have to provide their mobile number which they want to through which they want to register themselves on IndiaMart as a free seller. After filling these two details, the seller has to tick this checkbox which says I agree to the terms and privacy policy and click on register for free. After clicking on register for free, the seller will land on this next page that says that you have to enter the OTP which has been sent to your registered mobile number. It is a 4-digit OTP. Okay, then you have to press continue. So after clicking on continue, I mean entering the OTP, after clicking continue, the seller will land on the next page, next box that says business details. In this, the seller has to write his or her business details, which says the seller has to enter the company name with which the company is if he or she is running a garment business, then they have to mention the name of the garment company. If they are running electronic item, then they have to write some electronic business name. So this should be a business name. Then email, the seller has to enter the email which he or she or the seller can verify at the time of registration, or they can click on verify later and then they will continue. So after this, the seller will land on the next section, that is the add product section. In this section, the seller has to add the product of their business. Okay, so I hope that there is no business without any product, without any products. So in this section, the seller has to add the products of their business or the products they are dealing in with. Along with the products photos, the seller has to add the name of the product as well. Okay, so if the seller is dealing in the kurtis, so and he or she is adding the photo products of kurtis, then they have to mention the type of kurti it is. Like if somebody is adding the photograph of chicken kurti, so they have to mention the name below the photo product that this is the chicken kurti. They have to specify that what is the product is. Without that, it all get mixed up. Now, after successfully adding the photo products in the previous section, after clicking continue, the seller will land on this page, next page, that says you have to enter your location details. In location details, the seller has to enter his business address, locality, city, pin code, state, and GST number. So these are the basic details, and after these completing these details, he will click on simply start selling and he will be registered on IndiaMart. So what is the important things we have learned that are important to create or to register a seller can register themselves on the IndiaMart platform through desktop site is, first of all, their name, then they have to enter their mobile number, email id, then they have to add their product photos and then location details. So these are the important things or important things which a seller must have to enter to register themselves as a seller on IndiaMart platform. I hope till now you all understood how a seller can register themselves on IndiaMart platform through our desktop site. Now we will talk about that how a seller can register himself by using IndiaMart app. IndiaMart app is easily available or easily can be easily downloaded through Play Store or Apple Store simply on your mobile phones. So now let's see how a seller can register themselves on IndiaMart using IndiaMart app. After the IndiaMart app has been successfully installed to the seller's smartphone, they have to first enter their number. They have to register their number. After registering or after entering their number, they have to click on next, and the procedure is same in the desktop site as well. We have received an OTP after entering our number, and in this application as well we are getting an OTP to register ourselves on the IndiaMart platform. Then after clicking on after entering the OTP, then the seller has to click next, and then they have to write the seller has to basically write their name, their own name, in the space provided, and then they have to enter their email ID as we have done in the desktop site as well. We have first entered our name, then number, after that we have entered our OTP, and then we have entered our email, which we can verify later or we can verify at the same time. Then we have to enter the location as well. So the application will automatically detect the location of the seller, so there is no need to enter the location in this, as it is a smartphone and every smartphone has a feature to detect my location. So in the same way, the application itself will detect the location of the seller. Then we have to click on the next. After clicking on next, we have to select that the seller wants to basically register themselves as a buyer or a seller. So here, as we have already mentioned earlier, that we are talking on the seller side, so we have to select as a seller we want to register. Then again, we have to verify our email account, which we can verify at the same time or we can skip the same. Then after this, we have to enter the company name, as we mentioned in the desktop site as well. We have to mention the company name through which we want to register our business on this platform. And then after clicking on I accept the terms and policy, after this we have to select next. After clicking on next, what we will see that now we have to add our products, that what products or services we want to sell on the IndiaMart platform. So here we have to add our product. So here you can see that the particular seller has entered his products in this section. Okay, that he is dealing with jeans, he is dealing with lower, he is dealing with shirts. Then we have to click on next. Then after this, again we have to submit the GST number. Then there are two options in this application, that I have GST or I will update later. So I will have GST. After clicking on, after when the seller will tick on I have GST, then a box will open in which the seller has to write their particular GST number. And if the seller will mark I will update later, then there are three options which they have to click again. Like, if I am exempted. Exempted means that government has allowed some of the businesses to run without GST. that is like some of the is that comes like NGO comes under this section. Then next is I don't remember, that means at that time the seller does not remember his or her GST number, or I don't have it, that means the seller is not having their GST number, they have not do not have any GST number, their business is registered without GST number. So there are three options. Then after this there is the address section, in which again the seller has to enter the location details of their business, and then they have to simply click on start selling now. So it is so simple, this procedure is same, but the screen is different, that is the difference only. Okay, so now I hope you all have understood that how a seller can use the desktop site and the IndiaMart application for registering themselves as a seller on the IndiaMart platform. Now, after understanding how a seller can register their businesses on IndiaMart platform through desktop site and IndiaMart app, now we will talk about how a seller can register themselves through mobile site on the IndiaMart platform. Now let's see how a seller can register themselves through mobile site. Now, through mobile site, a seller can simply open his Google or browser on their smartphone. Then they have to log into the mobile site, that is m.indiamart.com/seller. Okay, then they have to again enter their number from which they want to register themselves as a seller on IndiaMart. Then they have to click on next. For the mobile verification, again they will receive an OTP on their mobile number they have entered. Then they have to verify that OTP. After that they have to write their name, owner name. Then they have to again write their Gmail ID or enter their Gmail ID to the mobile site, and then they have to click on create seller account. In this way simply they can register themselves like in the previous sections or previous methods. We have also seen that firstly uh, seller have to register themselves through the mobile number only. Then in this as well they have to first enter the mobile number, they will receive an OTP on the same. After that the owner has to enter their name and their Gmail ID, and then they have to click on create seller account. After clicking on create seller account, the seller has to write the business name. Then again they have to add as same as they have added the their business products, they have to enter the name of their business product, then click on next. Then they have to update the GST number if they have, and if they want to enter their or update their GST number later on, then they have to click on I will update later. And if they want to update it later, then they have to share the reason that why they want to update the GST number later on. Then after this they have to click on next, they have to enter the location. Okay, after this the registration on IndiaMart has completed, and they will click on start selling now. So the process is same in all the three platforms, in the desktop side, in the application, as well as in the mobile side. We have seen that the process is same. They have to create account by simply entering their mobile number. Mobile number is mandatory, without mobile number a seller cannot register themselves on IndiaMart for as a seller. Okay, so they have to enter their mobile number. Then they have to enter their name, then they have to enter the business name, their GST number they have to update, they have to add the product to the the whatever platform they are using, they have to add the product. Then they have to enter the location in which from which the seller is or from which their business belongs to, and then they have to simply click on start selling now. So the process is almost same, but the screen is different. This is the difference only, and I hope that all of you understood that how a seller can register themselves through all the three sites, that is the desktop site, mobile application, and then the mobile site. So on the basis of whatever we have learned in this session, there is a small quiz for all of you present here. So the first question for the quiz is, what are the different platforms through which IndiaMart can be accessed? I hope you all have the answer for this. Then second one is, what are the mandatory business details to be filled by the user while login? I hope you can answer this as well. And the third one is GST mandatory to fill on sell on IndiaMart screen? I hope you all have answer for this as well. I don't think so there is anyone who do not have the answer for all these three questions. So I hope you have understand and learned the session well. Okay, so I would like to thank you everyone for listening patiently to this session, and all the best. Thank you.